Hi, and welcome to this video from the number section. Now, you don't need to be scared by the title operations. All meaning is just like the big four when it comes to numbers, which is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So, off we go. So, addition and subtraction. The key thing to make sure, as I'm sure you know, is just make sure you've got your columns correctly lined up. You get that bit right, everything else will fall into place from there. And so let's have a go at an example. I've picked ones that have got decimals in them just to make sure that we're really clear on what we're doing with lining up columns. The other interesting thing to note with this one is clearly here we've got 3 digits after the decimal point there. We've only got 2 digits after the decimal point here. So we're going to have to make sure that we're thinking carefully about that as well. So here we go. Let's do formal column addition with this. So there's my two numbers. Notice what I've done is just kind of, if you line up your decimal points, and then slot all your numbers into the columns after that, then that'll make sure that everything is tickety-boo. And off we go. Let's do some adding. So first I'm going to do is add up this column. I've got a 5 here. There's nothing in this column here. If you wanted to put a 0 in there, you can do if it makes you happy. Or alternatively, just go, well, you know what, 5 plus nothing in the number underneath. That's just going to be 5. Next column, 0 plus 4 is just 4. 2 plus 9. Now clearly 2 plus 9 is 11, so I stick the 1 in there, and then I'm carrying my 1 down now onto the next row. So now I've got to add up that column there. So we've got 6 plus 7 plus the 1, so that's 14. Just put a little line to there just to make sure I'm aware that I've kind of used that one now, dealt with it. And there's the 1 that I've carried into the next column, and now we've got 4, nothing there, but I've still got this 1 here, so that's going to be a 5. So there we go. So hopefully that's fairly straightforward for you. So those two numbers added together, 54.145. Right, let's have another go, but this time let's do exactly the same numbers, but this time we will do it as a subtraction. Again, same idea, decimal points lined up, columns neatly lined up, and away we go. Now, subtraction is a little bit more fussy, as you're going to see. So again, 5, take away 0. Clearly that's just going to be 5. Now we've got to do 0, take away 4. Now, we can't do that. Well, we could if we're going to use negative numbers, but in this technique, we're absolutely not doing that. What we've got to do is, so we've got 0, take away 4. I haven't got enough here because this number is bigger. So what I'm going to have to do is borrow some from here. So we're going to borrow from the 2. There we go. And put a 1 into that column now. So I've now got 10 in this column. And the 2 here, that's now become a 1. So hopefully you're familiar and comfortable with that idea. So I've now got 10 take away 4, which is 6. I've got to do 1 take away 9. Oh, there we go, we've got a problem again, so I'm going to have to borrow from this column here. So let's do some borrowing. There we go, that's now 11 in that column. And my units column here is now, was a 6, it's now a 5. So I've now got to do 11 take away 9, which is 2 decimal points. Now I've got to do 5 take away 7. Oh, here we go again, let's do some borrowing. Let's take 1 from there. And so this column's now got 3 in it, so I've now got 15, take away 7, which is the 8. I've now got the final bit to do is 3, take away, well there's nothing there, so 3 take away nothing is just going to be 3. And so there we go, there's my answer. On we go, so let's have a look at multiplication. Now, 2 ways of going at multiplication, or 2 main methods. There are others, I'm just going to pick out these 2. You should know from what you've done at school which one is the method that you use. I wouldn't suggest you try and learn either. If you're not sure, pick the one that you like the most and just stick to that one and just practice the one. You absolutely don't need to know how to do both. I'm going to go through both here just so I'm covering all the bases. So here we go. Here's the more kind of formal column methods. So let's do what we call a long multiplication here. So off we go. Let's set it up. There we go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start by multiplying the 372 just by the units digit here. So we need to do 3 times 2, which is 6. Now we're doing 3 times 7, 21. So put the 1 there, carried the 2 down over to the next column. I've now got 3 times 3, which is 9, and the 2. So I've got 11 there. Okay. Now, what that's given me there, that number there, 1116 is 3 lots of 372. In my sum, I need 83 lots of 372. I've got 3 lots of it. I now need 80 lots. So what I'm going to have to do is do some multiplying by the tens digit. Now, we've got to be really careful here. This is the bit where if you're going to make a mistake, this is where it'll be, because loads of people forget this bit. I'm not times by 8. That from there is not 8. That's in the tens column, so that's 80. Now, because I'm multiplying by 80, it means I've got to make sure we put a 0 in. Okay. Now that I've put my 0 in, now I can start doing the multiplying. So I've got 8 times 2, which is 16. There's the one that I'm carrying. 8 times 7, 56, and the 1 is 57, and carry my 5. 8 times 3 is 24, plus the 5, 29, and there we go. So that row there is 80 lots of 372, and all I've got to do now to get my 83 lots in total is just, there we go, I've got 80 lots, there I've got 3 lots, I've just got to add them together. So add together my two numbers, that's going to give me my total of 83 lots of 372. So just add up the columns now. 6 plus 0 is 6. 1 plus 6 is 7. 1 plus 7 is 8. 1 plus 9 is 10. So stick in the 0, carry the 1. 2 plus the 1, 3. And there we go. Sorted. So the answer to that sum is 30,876. Now, if you're happy with that bit, and that's the method that you use, and you're comfortable with that, then really you don't need to watch the next part of this. You can kind of skip forward a little bit. Or if you're not quite sure about that one, or if you prefer what is the grid method, then this is the bit for you. So here we go. So I'm going to do exactly the same sum, and what we're going to do is just split the numbers up. So we've got 3 hundreds, we've got 7 tens, we've got 2 units, and the 83, we've got 8 tens, 80, and the 3. And there's my grid. All I'm going to do now is just, for each square in the grid, just do the relevant sum. So for this square here, this top left corner, I've got to do 80 times 3. And I know 8 times 3 is 24, but the advice here is just got to make sure we've got the right number of zeros. 2 there, another one there. I'm going to need to put 3 zeros on the end of that. So next one, I've got 80 times 70. 8 times 7 is 56. And I've got 2 zeros. 1, 2 zeros. Out to this box over here. 8 times 2 is 16. I've just got the 1 0. So that gives me 160. Onto the bottom row. 3 times 3 is 9. And the 2 zeros. That's 900. 3 times 7. Oh, sorry, 3 times 7. I did that the wrong way around. 3 times 7 is 21. And the 0. And then in the bottom box 6. All we've got to do now is just take all the numbers from this box here from our grid and just add them all together. And again, the key thing here is make sure you line them all up correctly. And the easiest way to do that is to make sure you are lining up your units column. So if we get that column correct, make sure you kind of effectively write justifying it if you want to describe it like that. Put all those things in a line there, and then all the other columns will follow on from that. But just do the adding now. So I've got 6 plus a whole bunch of zeros. So that's just 6. Here I've got 1, 0, 6, 0, 0. So I've just got the 1 and the 6 to add. There's the 7. Now I've got to add up all those numbers there. So I'm looking going 9 plus 1 is 10. Plus the 6 plus the 2. So I've got 18 there altogether. Carry the 1. 5 plus 4 is 9. Plus the 1 is 10. So 0. Carry the 1. And finally the last column, 2 plus 1 is 3. And clearly I've ended up with exactly the same answer. Now, as I said at the start, you don't need to know both methods. Have a look at those, decide which one you think is the easiest, decide which one makes more sense to you, pick that one, stick with it. You don't need to be able to do both. Both methods are absolutely 100% fine. Okay, on we go. So, last thing I want to look at in this video is division. So, let's do a quick divide sum. And we're going to do short division. You're not going to have to worry about long division. So here we go. So we're going to do 7, and I don't know if you guys refer to this as kind of the bus stop method. That's what I call it. So we've got the 7 outside the bus stop, because that's going into the 547 that's inside the bus stop. And so now we've got to go, how many times does 7 go into 5? Well, it doesn't. So I've got 0 up there. Now essentially what I'm doing is looking at these two digits together. I'm saying, how many times does 7 go into 54? 7 sevens are 49, so that's going to be, I'm going to get 7 of those in, and I've got a remainder, and that remainder is going to be 5, which I'm just going to carry up here, And now I'm doing 7s into 57. Well, 7 8s are 56, so it's going to be 8 of those. That's 56. I've got 1 left over, so I'm going to say remainder, and I've got remainder 1. There we go. And so here's a question that's going to use a bit of division. So our friend here, I really should give her a name, she wants to buy some pencils. We've got 9p per pencil. She's got £1.50 to spend. How many can she buy and how much money is she going to have left over? So here we go. So how many times will 9 fit into 150? So we're going to do that as a division. So there's my 9s. And to make sure I've got the units the same, notice I've got 9p. Here I've got it in pounds. So I'm just going to write the pounds in pence. I'm going to use 150 pence. So I've got my units the same. 9s into 1. That's not going to go. 9s into 15 now. So 9 to 15 go 1. And I've got 6 left over. And 9s into 60. That's going to be 6. 6 9s are 54. So I've got a remainder of 6. So basically what that means is I can buy 16 pencils. Or sorry, she can buy 16 pencils. And she's going to have 6p left.